Hey, what's going on out there? I'm Sean Devine. Hope you all are doing well. A couple months ago, I was having a conversation with a friend and we were talking about what plugin we feel like we really need as Waves users. You know, what's kind of like a hole in the lineup that needs to be filled. Now, reverbs are really, really tough for me because a lot of times if you get one that's great, it's very CPU heavy. It's going to kind of bog down your session. Or if you get one that's really lightweight, it sounds really cheap and just not authentic. Also, the reverbs generally take a long time to dial in to get them to work in your mix. Well, the promise with Waves' new plugin, Magma Springs, is that it's lightweight, you can dial in your settings really quickly, and it sounds very musical and authentic. So we're gonna put it to the test. I'm gonna let you hear it on a number of different sources here so you can judge for yourself. So let's go ahead and dive in.
My life, a fight song. Feeling all the pressure with the lights on. What they say, been changing. When you're the one the world is rearranging.
All right, and with Motor City.
My life, a fight song. Feeling all the pressure with the lights on. What they say, been changing. When you're the one the world is rearranging.
Very nice tail there. Let's play it back in the context of the mix.
My life, a fight song. Feeling all the pressure with the lights on. What they say, been changing. When you're the one the world is rearranging.
So if you're not familiar with what a spring reverb actually is, essentially we're talking about physical metal springs that are between a transducer, which is going to activate the spring or a series of springs. And then on the other side, we have a pickup that's going to convert that into our signal or our reverb itself. Now, we refer to the different springs as reverb tanks, and Magma Springs has 7 of these reverb tanks or different types or styles of reverb, and these can vary depending on the length of the spring, how many springs there are, and how they're dampened, and so on and so forth. So you get some really cool styles here that we can switch between in the Springs interface to give us some instant variations. And then we can also control the length, and it just gives you 3 settings: short, medium, and long. So it's a very easy interface to navigate. You have the controls you need, none of the stuff that you don't. On the left, we have a drive that is going to control the input section. We can get some harmonics and some saturation out of it if we want to drive that heavily. We have a traditional pre-delay, which you see on most reverbs. We have a feedback control, which if we do that, we can get some really nice sort of artifacts on the tail end. And on the right, we have our tone controls for treble and bass, and then we have a mix. So if you want to just put this directly onto your track like I have here, you can utilize that mix control. Or if you want to use this as a send, just set it to 100 and control that send accordingly. You have your output, and then we can also switch this between a stereo signal or a mono reverb if you prefer. I'm going to go through all 7 of the tanks here with a vocal, and I'll switch some settings just on the fly just so you can hear how this can work in the context of the mix and just a lot of the variations that we can create here in Magma Springs.
My life, a fight song, feeling all the pressure with the lights on. What they say, been changing. When you're the one the world is rearranging. My life, a fight song, feeling all the pressure with the lights on. What they say, been changing. When you're the one the world is rearranging. My life, a fight song, feeling all the pressure with the lights on. What they say, been changing. When you're the one the world is rearranging. My life, a fight song, feeling all the pressure with the lights on. What they say, been changing. When you're the one the world is rearranging. My life, a fight song, feeling all the pressure with the lights on. What they say, been changing. When you're the one the world is rearranging.
So as you can hear there, utilizing the 7 reverb tanks, we get a very broad range of tones and vibes that we can use. And then utilizing our different controls here between the drive, the pre-delay, and our tone controls and stereo and mono, you have a pretty infinite amount of different options that fit very well in the mix. And I know that Waves is likely presenting this more as a guitar reverb or an instrument reverb, but I really like this on vocals. My takeaway on this is I'm really psyched to have a capable reverb in the Waves lineup. Like I've mentioned before, I've utilized Renaissance Reverb and Reverb a lot just because it's a lightweight plugin, it's reliable, and it sounds pretty good for what it is. But I think this one sounds more convincing, more authentic in terms of just the type of reverb it is, but it also matches a lot of different things well. It has a vibe that works for vocals. It sounds really good on guitars and drums. It just gives me something that I haven't had in my palette of reverb plugins. Now, real quick, I want to address the Waves subscription conversation. I know I haven't really talked about it, and I've been getting a lot of questions just asking me, how do I personally feel about, everything that happened as far as that rollout, and how do I feel about subscriptions in general, specifically, Waves Ultimate. Well, the situation as far as how it was actually rolled out in terms of, Waves users, the only choice was to have a subscription for the first period of time. I didn't think that it was rolled out properly, and obviously Waves realized that as well. I also believe in forgiveness. I believe we all make mistakes. They apologized and they came back and brought the perpetual licenses. And I think that they're providing a lot of different options, trying to cater to a lot of different types of users. So I think they're doing the best they can to fix that. But that is a separate thing than how I actually feel about the subscription itself. The Waves Ultimate specifically, I feel like that got overshadowed by all of that rollout sort of drama. The Waves Ultimate subscription is actually a tremendous value. I am subscribed personally. I'm paying for it because you get over, I think it's 230 Waves plugins or 240 Waves plugins. It's all the Waves plugins. And that includes a lot of really essential industry standard stuff in there. Some really cool stuff that I didn't even know was there. And I've started using some of the different Waves plugins in that, and I've been really excited about it. So if you're just not for subscriptions, it's not for you, obviously. I've been doing perpetual licenses up until now, but I did subscribe because, again, just for the amount of plugins you get access to and the price per month, there is no other subscription out there, a plugin subscription that gives you that much value, period. That's my personal opinion. Anyway, I hope you all have fun with Magma Springs. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. If you learned anything in the video, please like, subscribe, and consider sharing. Hit that notification bell for more. We'll talk to you soon.